segment, I wanted to talk about a few of the players that I've had a chance to watch. The past week, I've been driving around Dallas, going to see different workouts and seeing if I can get some exclusive content. If you haven't visited my YouTube channel, go to youtube.com, obviously youtube.com, but if you go to NBA Draft Junkies on youtube.com, you see a video where I did of Kofi Cockburn, and I was impressed by his workout. Cockburn is a massive human being. Like, on TV, I know he's big. I know he's a big dude. But in person, he's a really big dude. As crazy as that may sound, but that is the only way I can describe. He's like 7 foot, maybe 280 pounds. He's a throwback big, but he's pretty agile. He's an explosive athlete for his size. What was interesting to me is that he's been working on his range, which is not shocking, but it's the ball handling. He's been working on his ball handling, not necessarily to be a ball handler or push the break. I'm not saying he's going to be like a Draymond Green, but one of the things that I've learned is that a big working on his ball handling, especially the coordinated ball handling and footwork drills, is very important as far as improving footwork and foot speed and coordination, especially in today's NBA, because bigs are going to have to defend out on the perimeter in space. So if you get a chance to look at the video, you'll see a lot of drills. You'll see him doing in and outs and crossovers, and you're probably like, what in the world is he doing? But there's a method to the madness, and that, again, like I said, he's working on his footwork. Oh, and I forgot to mention that they're working out with Tyler Relph. Tyler is somebody that I've known for years. Great dude. I mean, I've met a lot of pretty shady individuals in this basketball business. Tyler's not one of them. Always been a stand-up guy. Always been, you know, just great to not only me, but a lot of the players that he's worked with. He's given me an open door to come and watch his workouts and even film. So shout out to Tyler Relph at Tyler Relph Basketball. But yeah, as far as Cockburn, I see some progression and some improvements in his shot. I'm not saying that he's going to be a floor spacer anytime soon, but if he can knock down a 15-footer, at least space the floor, and, you know, within a few years develop into a decent spot-up shooter, then I think that could go a long way into his development. I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen from him. He's looked good. Like I said, massive individual, explosive, and I think that there's a chance that he can hear his name called on draft day. Another player that I've had a chance to watch is Max Abmas, and Max has an incredible story. I'm hoping that I get him on the podcast to tell his story. If you don't know the name, he was the NCAA's leading scorer, averaged 24 points per game, shot 42% from three on a ridiculous 8 attempts per game. Probably the most unheralded or underrated player in this draft class. I mean, I just go, not even with this draft class. Let's just talk about the 2019 recruiting class out of Dallas. It was a class that had Tyrese Maxey, R.J. Hampton. I think Davion Harmon was in that class. And I've seen Abmas ranked as low as number 71. I want to say the highest I've seen him ranked is number 34. And this is not in the nation. This is in the state of Texas. There's a publication that had him ranked as the 71st player in the state of Texas. And in just 2 years after being ranked the number 71 ranked player in Texas, not the country, in Texas, he led the nation in scoring. So I really don't know if he is a late bloomer or if he is someone that was just underrated, that everybody was sleeping on. As far as like in a workout, he's shown everything that I expected to see from a guy that led the nation in scoring. He's shown good shooting. He's shown great touch. As far as like an NBA workout, I'd expect him to shoot lights out, and I'd expect him to really impress teams in the interview process. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of questions about his size, and some may question whether he plays or just his overall NBA fit as far as his position. But to me, that's nothing new. I'm sure he had the same questions or concerns coming out of high school, which is the reason why he was not highly regarded. And I mean, like I said, a great story. Looking forward to possibly having him on, or I shouldn't even say that, hopefully having him on to tell his story, because I think that, you know, he has a great story, and I want to figure out, was he underrated or is he a late bloomer? And it's probably a combination of both. Also attending these workouts is Marcus Garrett from Kansas. Just finished a 4-year career. If you know Marcus Garrett, he was the Defensive Player of the Year in 2019-20, and defense is going to be his calling card. That's what's going to help get him in the NBA door. But if he can consistently knock down outside shots, I think that would determine how long he stays. I personally knew he was a good athlete, but I feel like I underestimated his athleticism and explosiveness. It's really stood out to me in person. He has the size and competitiveness to be a multi-positional defender. But everything is back to his ability to shoot the ball. If he can knock down open shots, then he could stick in the NBA. So far from what I've seen, I feel like the shot has improved. And the last player that I want to talk about is a guy that's under the radar. I think that he has a chance to really make a name for himself if he gets an opportunity to work out in front of NBA teams. It is TJ Starks from Cal State Northridge. He averaged nearly 22 points a game, also shot 36% from 3 on a respectable 5 attempts per game. He is a strong and physical player. He's about 6'2", 200 pounds, but he moves like a man a lot smaller, has a great combination of power and finesse. And it's not a guy that was just putting up big numbers at a small school. He was a productive player at Texas A&M before transferring. I think he's definitely a sleeper that I believe could raise some eyebrows if he gets a chance to work out in front of NBA teams, like I said. And if you didn't know the names and, it was just player A, player B, player C, and out of all the guys that I mentioned, if you watched the workout, you'd have a hard time determining who is the best player 1 through 5, because TJ has looked as impressive or even more impressive than all the players that I've mentioned. So he's the name to look out for.